Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Essay Writing in English with Barry. My apologies for the live Zoom classes not working out. A few people had some problems, so it would have been hard for us to all be online together at the same time. So I thought it would be easier to just continue doing our video classes like we have been doing them. So we will continue doing them that way. And so today I'll start by going over activity 13 from last week's homework. So you can check your answers there, and then we'll move into our new topic for today. We need to do 2 videos per week for the rest of the semester. So this is video 1. There will be 1 more, and my plan for the second video is always to take you through the writing process, where I will basically do one of our assignments, and I'll show you how I use one of the paragraphs in the textbook as a model and how I do my own brainstorm. And then actually you can watch me go through the whole writing process from beginning to end. And hopefully that will give you a nice example that you can use when you do your own writing. But more about that in video 2. So let's get right to it. So our word association activity, a village is a small city. So that's closer to a town than a city. Let me grab my pen here. So that's a city. Oh, sorry, a town rather. A town. Delicate is like very fragile, and that's something that can break very easily. If you recall something, if you think about the word call, and to means do again. So if you recall it, you bring it back. So think about that as remembering something. A skyscraper is very high. Well, these are all the first one, apparently. An assault is something violent. Someone attacks you, so that's negative. To descend goes from high to low. That's descend. The opposite of that is ascend. So if we're descending, we're going, see, these numbers are going up. So those are ascending. That won't work. So 13, 12, 11, these are going down. So this is what we want for descend. To rip, if you rip your pants, that means you tore your pants. A swirl is something that kind of goes like this. That's a swirl. And that's closer to a circle than just a line. Constantly means continuously or like always. Syrup is what you put on your French toast or pancakes, or maybe on top of your ice cream, and so that is a liquid. If you argue with someone, that is a negative thing. If you tease someone, you are making fun of that person. Precise means exact. A crown, where does a king or queen wear a crown? That goes on their head. And lions roar, that is a loud sound, not a soft sound. Okay, so that covers that activity. And now we've got our collocations. Again, these are word associations, words that naturally go together. So a skilled worker, a person, a worker, employee who has a lot of skills or is highly skilled at something, very good at doing something, is a skilled worker. A symbol of something. This is a symbol of freedom, for example. The Statue of Liberty in New York City is a symbol of freedom. An aroma is a good smell, usually. So if you think about this coffee, so an aroma is a smell, so it's not going to be colorful. It's going to be wonderful. This coffee has a wonderful aroma. A slender means thin or skin. That's not working. Or skinny. I'll draw my little stick figure here. This person is slender, so this slender body. If something comes to mind, to come to mind, that means you think of it. If I ask you a question and you have no idea, you could say, oh, sorry, but nothing comes to mind. I can't think of any ideas. I have no idea. A faded, so faded means like very dull and old. Photo, an old photo, faded. It's not very clear anymore because it's so old. And intricate is very detailed, very highly detailed. And so you wouldn't call a drink detailed like this. You wouldn't say, oh, an intricate coffee. No. But a plan can be intricate. If you've ever seen a movie like Ocean's 11, they had a very intricate plan to steal the money from the bank. I've been watching Money Heist on Netflix recently, and their plan to rob the mint in Madrid is a very intricate plan, very detailed, has many different pieces. Number 8, a tidy. Tidy just means very clean, not messy. So that would be an office, a tidy office. Curly describes someone's hair. If you get a perm, you'll have curly hair. And things are stuffed with something. So, for example, the pillow is stuffed with feathers. My mandu was stuffed with kimchi. Right? My dumplings were stuffed with kimchi. Then number 11, chains. Chains, if you think about a chain like being connected like this, and my drawing is not very good here. And then here's this one. Oh no, it's broken. And here's the other half of that one. Broken chains. And the connotation, this was a word we learned. We had denotation and connotation. Last week, denotation is the dictionary definition. Connotation is the sort of negative or positive meaning associated with the word, and the connotation of a word. The connotation of a word. Okay, that covers our collocations. I'm still in the process of checking your writing homework from last week. I'll have that back to you soon with feedback and grades, scores. And today we're talking about opinion paragraphs. These tend to be easier to write than other types of paragraphs because everyone has opinions about things. And so you get to use the subject pronoun I, right? How I feel about something. And it's always easy to write about something that you have a strong feeling about. So let's look through this unit and see how we can write a good opinion paragraph. Just a quick reminder here about what a good opinion paragraph does. Of course, it gives the writer's opinion. It interprets or explains facts. It's often controversial, meaning people disagree about it. If it's not controversial, if everyone pretty much agrees with you, then, well, there's really no point in writing about it. So a good opinion paragraph is usually about something that is controversial, that is something that not everyone agrees on. And it should make the reader think seriously, or maybe even change their opinion about it after reading your opinion paragraph. And of course, to be a really strong opinion paragraph, you need to consider both sides. Of course, you're going to give more attention, more focus to your side because you need to support your opinion, but you should also mention what the other side thinks to make it a truly strong opinion paragraph. If you just write your opinion and don't mention what the other side is, then it's going to be pretty weak. Right? You need to, because you need to explain what the other side thinks and also why you think that's wrong, or support your ideas for why that you disagree with that side. All right, so let's look at a couple of opinion paragraphs here. Before you read this, do you think, number one, do you think that using a cell phone while driving is acceptable? Why or why not? This seems like a silly question, but when I'm driving around these days, I notice a lot of people looking at their phones, some talking on their phones, some sending messages. Anytime you are at a red light and there's a car in front of you, the light changes to green and that car doesn't move, just sitting there, it's probably because the driver is on their phone or looking at their phone, surfing the internet, and not paying attention to the light, to the signal. That happens to me every time I go out. So this is a good one. Number two, should there be a law completely banning the use of cell phones while driving? Meaning, if you get caught even holding your phone, looking at your phone or holding it or anything, you could get a ticket or a fine. So that might seem a little harsh to some people. I know, for example, in Chicago, you cannot pick up your, I got my phone here. You can't pick up your phone, and if you do this, if you're caught doing this in the car while driving, you get a ticket. But you can use like Bluetooth and talk as long as you're not holding it. If you're using like the speakerphone, you can, that is legal and that's okay to do. So let's go through here and read this one real quick, and then we'll talk about it. So I'm not going to read through every example with you, but we'll do one in detail, and then that'll help you do the others on your own. Okay. So driving and cell phones. Because cell phones and driving are a deadly mix, I am in favor of a ban on cell phone use by drivers. The most obvious reason for this ban is to save lives. Each year, thousands of drivers are killed because they are talking on cell phones instead of watching the road while they're driving. This first reason should be enough to support a ban on cell phones when driving, but I have two other reasons. My second reason is that these drivers cause accidents that kill other people. Sometimes these drivers kill other drivers. Sometimes they kill passengers or even pedestrians. A pedestrian is a person who is walking. These drivers certainly do not have the right to endanger others' lives. Finally, even in cases where there are no injuries or deaths, damage to cars from these accidents costs us millions of dollars as well as countless hours of lost work. To me, banning cell phones while driving is common sense. In fact, a wide range of countries has already put this ban into effect, including Australia, Brazil, Japan, Russia, and Turkey. Driving a car is a privilege, not a right. We must all be careful drivers, and talking on a cell phone when driving is not safe. Okay, so that was a pretty good opinion paragraph. So let's look here. Topic sentence. We usually go back to the first sentence. So it gives a reason here, because that it's a deadly mix. I am in favor of a ban on cell phone use by drivers. So this tells us what the writer's going to explain to us. So this writer thinks that cell phones should be banned, and now we can expect that all of the sentences that follow will either give us reasons why and some extra information, examples, etc., to support. Okay. Number 2, what is the author's opinion on cell phone usage by drivers? And, well, we just heard, they should be banned. They should not be used while driving. And number 3, list 3 reasons that the writer favors a ban on cell phones. Okay. So, it says this first reason should be enough. So we can see that that reason came in the sentence before, because this is referring back to this sentence. So each year, thousands of drivers are killed. So that's number 1, because thousands of drivers are killed. And then she says, but I have 2 other reasons. Okay, so my second reason, so that's here, my second reason is that these drivers cause accidents that kill other people. So drivers get killed, other people get killed. And finally, so this is the third reason down in this section, even in cases where there are no injuries or deaths, damage to cars costs us millions of dollars. So you damage a car, you have to pay for it. That's expensive. And also, if someone gets hurt, even if they're not killed, they can't work, and that costs more money. So here, so drivers dying, other people dying, and then damage and financial reasons for number 3. Number 4, what is your reaction? Do you agree or disagree with the author's opinion? Why or why not? And that can, I'll leave that up to you. In my case, I agree. I think, this idea of people getting hurt, those could probably be put into one reason. And they could maybe think of some other reasons to make the paragraph even stronger. But yeah, I totally agree with this idea that cell phones are dangerous when driving and should be banned. Okay, so that's a very serious example. Here, opinion paragraph 2, this is much less serious. This is just about the best way to communicate. So some people like to actually make a phone call, right? Hello, and talk to their friend on the phone. Others maybe don't want to talk and they prefer just to send a text message. And so this short paragraph explains the author's opinion that calling is better, right? I prefer calling to texting. Okay, and here you can see, yes, some people might say that using a phone is old-fashioned, but I don't care. So there's an example of considering the other side, mentioning the other side. And then texting is certainly very common now, but it's still considering the other side. However, I like to call because, and then giving a good reason. I like to hear my friends' voices and interact with them. So this is my preferred mode or method of communication. Okay, so very simple. You can go ahead and fill out your answers for numbers 1 through 4 here. And then we've got the old school uniform debate, which is always a favorite in opinion writing in textbooks for English language learners, apparently. So this person, if we just read the title, we can see an A+ for school uniforms. So this person definitely thinks that school uniforms are good. So go ahead and read through that and fill out the answer to those questions. Here's a little note for you about including an opposing opinion. Remember, a good opinion paragraph, in a good opinion paragraph, the writer considers what the other side thinks and mentions. You don't spend a lot of time on it, but you need to mention this counter argument, as it's called, what the other side would say, and then explain why your argument is actually better, or why the counter argument is not a good reason. So again, you've got state the opinion, provide support, mention the opposing view, which is the counter argument, and then refute it. So say why it's wrong or why your idea is right. And then, of course, concluding sentence. Okay. So activity 2 here, you're remember we said a good opinion paragraph is something that is maybe controversial, people disagree with. And so if you look through these titles here, or topic sentences, excuse me, pick out one that is a good, would be a good topic sentence for an opinion paragraph. So number 1, a hospital volunteer usually has many duties. Well, that's not something people really disagree about very often. Not a whole lot you could say. You could say, yeah, they have to do many things. And then the other side says, no, they don't have to do anything. That's not really very good. I don't like that one at all. What about number 2? Soccer is much more interesting to play and watch than golf. That could be interesting. Some people really love golf. It's their favorite sport. They think it's the best. Lots of people really love soccer, think it's the best. So in this one, you would that would be a good comparison, and that could make for a good opinion paragraph. What about number 3? The largest and best known city in all of France is Paris. That's just a fact. So sure, you could write a great paragraph about Paris, but not an opinion paragraph. This would not be a good opinion paragraph topic sentence. Number 4, eating a vegetarian diet is the best way to stay healthy. So no meat. Well, I think that could be a good opinion paragraph. Some people might say, no, you need lots of protein, and the best way to get protein is from meat and fish and things. So you could have a good opinion paragraph there. Hawaii is the best place for vacation. Sure, not everyone's going to agree. Number 6, this is just a fact. Number 7, also just a fact. And number 8, security alarms are the most effective way to protect homes. Yeah, this could be a good one. Some people might say, no, you don't need a security alarm. You just need a dog. Or you don't need anything. You just need a sign that says you have an alarm, and burglars will stay away. So lots of options, things you could do with that one. This just reminds you what the difference between a fact and an opinion is. You know that already, but just have a quick review of that here. Same here, which one is a fact, which one is an opinion. So the most beautiful city is Paris. Well, some people might think Prague is more beautiful, or Barcelona, or or Daegu. So that's an opinion. So F for fact, O for opinion. Let's go down here. This one, these sentences are mixed up, so you need to put a 1 to 6. Find the first sentence, put a 1, the topic sentence, and put a 6 by the concluding sentence, and then match up 2 through 5. Which one comes first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and then mention if it's an opinion or a fact after each sentence. Let's see if we can find the topic sentence together. I think this one looks good. Although many people enjoy playing in the sun, parents should make sure that their children put on sunscreen before going outside. Okay. Well, I think that's the author's opinion. I agree with it, but it is an opinion. And then in conclusion here, that's going to be number 6, the last sentence. The information is enough evidence to persuade parents not to let their children play outside in the sun without sunscreen. Again, is an opinion paragraph. I agree with it, but it is this person's opinion. Is this enough evidence? Maybe for some people. Maybe other people say, no, I want to hear more. I need more facts, more details. And you can go ahead and do 2 through 5 in there. Okay. Copying a paragraph. Language focus for this unit is on different parts of speech. How you can find distinguish nouns and adjectives and verbs fairly quickly. You can do that on your own. There are mistakes here. Go ahead and correct those. So number 1, many people did not believe the world was round until after Christopher Columbus's voyages. So the problem there is belief, and because belief is a noun, and we need it to be a verb. So that should be believe. Believe. Okay. And this shows you how to set up a brainstorm for an opinion paragraph. So you can write your topic in here, and then negative and positive points about it. Okay, then you got your sentence, your vocabulary work here, and collocation down at the bottom. And your assignment, your writing assignment will be this activity 11, original writing practice. So you need to come up with a strong opinion that you have. And so you're going to choose your topic. Let me circle this so it's clear. Choose a topic, brainstorm. Write a good topic sentence and then supporting sentences. Check for incorrect word forms. This is related to those nouns, verbs, and adjectives that we just talked about. Okay, so you're going to give your opinion, and you should, of course, you're going to write this on Canvas like always. It'll be due Friday. And use the paragraphs in this unit as models to follow. Okay, if you're going to write about sports, think about comparing golf and soccer, or maybe other sports if you like. You could do that. If you want to write about a place, you could do that. If you want to write about school uniforms or something else related to school, how to communicate, best way to do that. Something related to the law, you could do that. Lots of options here. But feel free to take an example and use that. And I'm going to show you how to do that in video 2. So for example, if I could even keep the same title, but have my own opinion. So I could change it to, for example, I think the best way to communicate is by email, maybe, and have my reasons for email, why I like to email, and I could give some reasons why phone calls aren't good and why I don't like texting. So I might do that for video 2 and show you how I use this basis as a model and then do my own thing with it and use some of the structure here to set it up so that it's a really strong paragraph. Okay, all right, so I'll leave that there for now, and make sure you comment underneath this video and post your homework to Canvas by Friday, and make sure you watch video 2. And all right, I'll leave it there and see you soon. Bye.